for 2 years, closed his lab, did not just close it down for a little while, got rid of it completely and removed all the funding for it, and then said maybe we'll have harsher penalties for him down the road.
Yeah.
What?
Like, I'm serious. This guy, the same month that he put this paper out, in June, Claudine Gay comes knocking with sexual harassment charges or accusations, allegations.
And it was entrapment.
Same month.
She asked if you wanted to see her tits.
That's true.
And he said no.
And he said, that's plagiarism. I've heard that before.
He said, "Oh, coming out with the titties all down below your rib cage."
I mean, if
Sorry,
they out,
this
they
is-
out.
This is so stupid. Like, this guy was attacked.
And this is the reason for Change My Mind. By the way, Change My Minds, when we started, the first ones were never conducted on campus. And we've conducted a lot of them not on campus. But the reason for this is we've actually cited these studies and these statistics, by the way, when we have done, I believe it was the Black Lives Matter, a terrorist organization, Change My Mind, or I don't know if it was Affirmative Action as racist, Change My Mind. We make all those references available. Why? Because no one is being taught this in higher education. I'm not a teacher. But the professors aren't allowed to teach the research of their own findings if it doesn't suit the narrative that is demanded from the dean, from the president. Insert whoever here.
Yep, exactly.
That's the reason for it. You shouldn't be at SMU. You shouldn't be wherever we go. You shouldn't be there and have students say, "I've never heard of that. I've only ever heard that black people are being hunted by police officers." And they say, "Well, where are you getting that?" In this case, your professor. But he's not allowed to talk about it. He's been suspended without pay because Claudine Gay showed him her breasts. Now,
Can you imagine if he did that with math? Can you imagine? No, I don't know. I don't believe in square roots, so.
I don't fully
Erased it.
understand them.
Yeah.
No, I understand them. I
really.
don't understand trigonometry. I do it, and then I see the number, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. Well, that's your right to bias.
What my calculator told me.
So that's interesting too what you bring up, and this brings us to the larger picture of race relations in America. Because if you tell people long enough, you tell one group, this is what happens right now. And this really kind of goes to Barack Obama. He was the great divider,
Yes.
in chief. All right, he would say to black people, "You're being shot, you're being hunted down."
Yeah.
And then we started with, and by the way, white kids who did nothing, by the way, to earn this type of ire, you need to check your privilege. You were born flawed because you're a white male. So you're a victim no matter what. You are the oppressor. Go. What do you think that does? Hey, you go from the era of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Family Matters, and even before that, the Jeffersons, Will Smith being the biggest film star that's ever existed. The biggest athletes, the most recognizable people on earth at one period in time. Michael Jordan.
Mike Tyson?
Yep. You go from that to, hold on a second, BET and World Star, and now you're fragmented. You've divided people. That is what has happened. You will never have another Will Smith. You will never have another Denzel Washington in a largely white country. We just didn't think about it when we were being raised. And you'll say that's because of your white privilege. No, it's because we weren't being taught that we were racist simply through birth, and our black friends weren't being taught that we were racist. There is no winning that game, and by the way, there is no coming back from that as a country if enough people believe it. So this study was issued July 11th, 2016. Yeah. One day before Barack Obama gave this speech after Dallas police officers, for those of you who don't remember, were slain in the streets.
And so when African Americans from all walks of life, from different communities across the country, voice a growing despair over what they perceive to be unequal treatment, when study after study shows that whites and people of color experience the criminal justice system differently, when mothers and fathers raise their kids right and have the talk about how to respond if stopped by a police officer, yes sir, no sir, but still fear that something terrible may happen when their child walks out the door, still fear that kids being stupid and not quite doing things right might end in tragedy.
Do you remember this time?
Did you just say
Remember
that?
I do. I was at a cousin's wedding in Milwaukee.
I was at home and I heard about this and it pissed me off because his rhetoric directly, 100%, the rhetoric from leaders in the black community like Al Sharpton and Barack Obama led to this shooting.
Yes.
Period. It was the straightest line you could freaking draw.
It was the first round of Black Lives
right?
Matter.
Exactly. He comes out, comments on Trayvon Martin when apparently every other ongoing investigation is the White House doesn't comment on an ongoing investigation. He fans the flames a little bit.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is happening, and more stuff had happened at that point. And then these police officers were killed. And he comes out and says this. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm really sorry for your loss. We have to do something about crime in this country. We have to do something about people lashing out in this country. We have to do something about whatever, just fixing the problems. He comes out and gives a speech about telling your kids the right thing to do because they may act up. You mean like pulling a gun from your waistband in Chicago? You mean like attacking a cop in Ferguson?
Right.
That acting up? Is that what you're talking about? A guy was killed that went to my church. He was a police officer who was in my church, in my community, protected that church as an off-duty police officer. He'd been killed because of your rhetoric and the kind of rhetoric that you had been pushing your entire life, and you came down and lectured police officers who had just lost a brother about a conversation people have to have because they maybe act up.
Right.
How about come down and say, I'm sorry that I have broken this country in such a way that it may not ever be fixable, and I was supposed to be the person in 2008 that fixed race relations.
How about come down and speak the truth? How about come down and say, now I know that I'm supposed to say that every, don't get beat up, that every cop is racist, and I'll couch my words so I don't say it, but how about he just comes down and says, look, what we just experienced is the result of officers being 18 times more likely to be shot by a black citizen than shooting a black citizen. We've lost context. Get wee-weed up. He makes up terms because he's full of shit.
He does it every time. Yeah.
No, that's the truth. And by the way, let me just read. So he said many studies. Again, this is around the same time. You just had that study from Harvard.
Yeah. Buried.
Yes. You do not have a free media or free educational system if the rules are not applied equally. So this is around the same time that ProPublica reported that young black males in recent years were at far greater risk of being shot dead by police than their white counterparts, 21 times greater.
Lies.
You can go and look at that study. It is not rigorous.
No.
It is not conducted in the way that the Harvard study was.
Pull that data up. Hold on. Pull that
What
data
is
back
that,
up. Hold on. Pull the data up.
What is that?
Real quick. Okay, 2014. I thought I saw 2017. I was about to lose my mind. Okay,
No, this is 2014.
Okay, sorry.
So that came out, and at that period of time, a much more rigorous study had been. That your sexism so overrides your profit motive as a business owner. So he said that. Okay, he goes out, he said, that's a lie. He goes out and he parrots this line about Black Lives Matter, from Black Lives Matter, about black people being shot by officers, which is a lie. And hey, you know what? You say, well, my children, I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that your black children will grow up in a world where they can smoke crack with a convicted domestic terrorist like Bill Ayers and get into an elite Ivy League school where we have no idea how, considering your background and the academic performance that we know of, get into the halls of Harvard and be actually the, I believe it's the
editor?
Senior editor or the lead editor of the Harvard Review? I believe it was the Harvard Review or the Harvard Legal Journal. Guys bringing up I believe it's the Harvard Legal Review. The only person in that position who's never been published ever, and then become president of the United States, who's largely a junior senator with no record, to be clear? Do you mean you're afraid of that kind of world, Barack Obama? And then once you get that platform, you decide to sow racial division and hatred. And here's the thing. These stats are alarming. And the reason this matters is they are trotting this back out for this next election. And they're going to do it for Nikki Haley. It doesn't matter if your name is Trump, DeSantis, Haley, George W. Bush. Some of you are so young that you don't remember. George W. Bush was called a Nazi and a racist.
Yeah.
George W. Bush. Now they go,
That's a
you
bit
know, this isn't the era of Republicans like George W. Bush, where we had disagreements. There were entire albums, concerts.
Yeah.
There was an entire Code Pink to say that he was a warmonger, he was racist. You could not, at any, from I would say a period of a solid 8 years. You could not in any way publicly agree with George W. Bush on any policy without someone shouting out, Halliburton!
That's true.
Yeah.
And now they act like, yeah, back then it was more civil. No, it's a lie. They're going to do this to you no matter what. Just like if you're a really, really good white person who goes out and you virtue signal and you check your privilege, guess what? They're gonna come for you anyway. So in 2008, when you look at people in the United States, there were large studies done as far as people's point of view in the United States, how they viewed race relations. 2008, white people, 70% of them said it was good. Black people, 61% of them said it was good. By 2015, it was only 51% of white people and 45% of black people. So from 2008 to 2015, did we get more racist? And what was the primary change? Barack Obama, the first black president. And I will tell you this, to my everlasting shame. Of course I didn't vote for the guy, but I thought, you know what? At least some people will now go, okay, all right, we have had a black president. You know, Tupac said we're never ready. We're not ready for a black president, even though it seems heaven sent. We're not ready for a black president, the drama nerd that he was. We said, okay, now we have a black president. At least there will be some healing. And instead, we saw a drop on race relations by 20 points. And they're going to do the exact same thing this election. This was all founded on a lie. And before we get into primaries and micro-politics, this is something people say, hey, what is it that I can do? What is it that you can do in your day-to-day life? Sure. You need to make sure that you vote in legislators and representatives who share your values. But let me give you a cheat code here. Just stop caring. When you interact with black people, if you're a white person, just stop caring about the tension. Just talk to them like you do anyone else. And if you have a question that maybe revolves around them being black because you're curious, ask it. And black people, same thing with white people. Just stop caring. Just stop staring through the fence at each other. Oh, you're afraid that maybe what you're saying could be construed. You'll be construed as racist anyway. Once you throw off that burden and you just say, all right, I don't care anymore. You're going to call me a racist. I know I'm not a racist. You're going to call me a sexist. I know I'm not a sexist. You'll call me transphobic. I know I'm not transphobic. Move on and interact with people as we did for decades. 70% of white people, 60% of black people said, yeah, we're good. The reason it's gotten worse is because you have allowed yourself to be guilted and browbeaten. Don't do it. White guilt, I know. White guilt creates more racism than you know. And a big reason is because black people don't respect weak white people who check their privilege. Do you have any idea how badly they're laughing at you?
You want to kiss my what?
The proud black man, and then they see you like, this man's apologizing for being white. The fuck? They don't have a chip in their brain for that. They don't respect it. It's demanded by people like Barack Obama, who's basically white. By the way, I'm sure we've hit the dump button. None of this happens without you.
Yeah.
You can join Mug Club, $89 annually, or you can try it Mugless for $9 a month. The investigative journalism unit, none of it happens. You have this show and another hour of show.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, today we will be covering live, actually. She has a major announcement. Yeah, later on.
Okay.
Major announcement.
Later on.
You said it wrapped attention.
Got me excited. I thought we were going to see Nikki Haley asking black people questions.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no. Not Nikki.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be a good segment.
She goes, can I touch your hair?
Yeah. That's the first question. Second question.
Yeah, she would affect an accent.
Tap over Venmo. What's that about?
Hey, guys, what is it with walking around on speakerphone in public?
And the
I
mall.
don't
What are we
know.
doing at the mall?
Yes.
Why are you all at the mall?
And do you all wear shirts with dead people on them
I
and the
don't
birth and death date?
See that?
What is this? I see it a lot when I go to racetrack. What's with the shirts with the death date?
We do that in our family. My daughter's wearing grandma's shirt.
Yeah, it was a night shirt.
Just,
By the way, good night. Here's grandma's airbrush shirt from the
Yeah.
fair.
don't worry, I can identify. I also am too legit.
Yes. You start playing ghetto gospel.
Yeah.
Those who will follow me. Sweet dreams. So Nikki Haley. Okay, look, right now,
Thug Mansion. So sorry. Another one came up.
this is me and Nikki Haley, right? I'm talking to Nikki Haley. And
both of you?
One of us is in deep trouble. So,
Oh, boy.
Nikki Haley lost the Nevada primary, which isn't necessarily a real primary, to none of the above. So that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
She vowed to stay in.
That ever happened before?
I mean, I'm sure at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you go
Okay.
back to like Taft. So
I lost a basketball game that way once.
all white people here.
They do. Yeah.
So she vowed to stay in the race even after South Carolina, which, you're talking about South Carolina. She's going to lose big.
Yeah.
South Carolina. No, you know the
Her home state?
Yes.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah. Her home state.
Yeah.
Trump's up by 30.
He's up by 31 points.
She's a late bloomer.
It's
Yeah.
close.
He's like, I've got you right where I want you.
That's not even the most aggressive poll. That's the average.
And then she just released a comment on her resolve, because she's a strong woman, to stay in the race. She said, 12 fellatios down, 1 to go. 12 fellas down. 12 fellas down, 1 to go.
That's
Well, okay, hold on a second. Look. You didn't put them down. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
Like you weren't sitting in a roof and saying like, yeah, all right, Tim Scott, I got a beat on you. No, you didn't do anything.
No.
You just had people give you money. And let's be honest, the 1 to go is the only one who matters at this point. Now, they do this again under the guise of we're more reasonable. We truly believe that this can be unifying for the country. And then you notice that the crazy protesters show up screeching anyway. So, was it a waste of time? Partially. Is it fun? Absolutely. We sent our team down to the Nikki Haley rally.
All right, we are out here at Gilly in Dallas, Texas, getting ready for the Nikki Haley rally.
How do we feel about Trump, guys? A lot better than Nikki Haley.
You killed a lot of Jews.
Besides the extra heavy pour of aviation gin at the venue's bar, 2 things really jumped out from Nikki Haley's Dallas campaign rally. First, most of her voting base seems to like her inoffensive nature and middle-of-the-road stance on a myriad of issues. And second, the radical leftist protesters don't really care and see no difference between Nikki Haley and Donald Trump or any Republican candidate for that matter. So no matter how polite or how reserved a candidate tries to be, they aren't going to save themselves from the ire of these radical leftist protesters, insanos, what have you. But as Winston Churchill wisely observed, each one hopes that if he feeds the crocodile enough, it will eat him last. And unfortunately for the appeasers, history's proven that's never really the case.
We are trying to figure out why people would vote for her. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe something we don't know.
When I was governor in South Carolina, I would always refer to South Carolina as mini Texas.
You know, we're really just here because we're curious. We're not trying to be provocateurs like some other people that might be on the premises. So please don't confuse us. We are big J journalists. So we're going to go out here and see what we can find and hopefully talk to some people and get to the bottom of this strange campaign. All right, let's check it out. If for some reason she doesn't get the nomination, is it a never Trump again? Or is it, okay, if Nikki doesn't get the nomination from the RNC, we will vote for Trump? Like, where do you line up on that?
Honest to God,
Yes, sir.
this will be the second time that I don't vote in a presidential election, and the first time I didn't vote was because I was in the middle of moving.
Is there any world where you'd ever vote for Donald Trump in the election? Would you vote for Biden over Trump, or would you just sit out the vote if they're the two candidates?
I can't help but think he's the lesser of two evils.
What, Biden?
Biden is the lesser of two evils. I mean, Donald Trump is just his popularity, in my mind, speaks to the collective interest, the collective intelligence of this country, and that more than anything is an indictment on our education system. That we could fall victim to somebody like him.
What's Nikki Haley trying to do here? What do you think she's all
She wants
about?
to continue funding the war.
What,
I mean, she's
yeah, but funding for what?
She wants to continue to fund the Ukrainians. I'm not a fan of money, but I also understand that our country has traitors. We have bigger issues in places like that.
Planning to vote for Ms. Haley?
At this point, yes.
And what about her candidacy, or what about her as a candidate makes her attractive to earn your vote?
Well, I like, a big part of her campaign is this country can do better than the other two choices. We like the fact that she's got some foreign affairs, government chops. I think from what I can gather, she was a successful governor in South Carolina. And in my mind, she's the most sensible choice at this point.
Bless his heart. Then we want to make sure we open up the middle class. We're watching the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We want to open up the middle class by eliminating the federal gas and diesel tax in this country. We're watching the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. We want to open up the middle class by eliminating the federal gas and diesel tax in this country. We want to cut taxes on the middle class and simplify the brackets. And we want to make small business tax cuts permanent.
As far as her positions on Russia, Ukraine, what do you... Obviously, there's two sides to what people are telling. What is your impression of what her policy is on the matter?
I think again, all I can say is that she's gonna be very moderate in things. She's not going to be an extreme Republican, overly liberal Democrat on anything. And this is what's attracting me to her. Last time I voted for Donald Trump, because I've been a Republican since I'm 18 years old. He was good for that time. I'm sorry, but that time's over.
And do you think the U.S. has the ability right now to engage fully with Russia, Ukraine, while still keeping priorities on Asia, specifically China? Do you think our military has the capacity to do that?
The answer to your question is, if I knew that, I'd probably be up there with her running for. So I don't necessarily believe anybody who says they're certain we can. I mean, if we're not careful, we're going to get spread too thin. But at this point, we have to support our allies to the degree we can. But wars on different sides of the world, I'm not sure how we'd fare. I'm not worried they'd attack us, but I mean, we may have to make some choices.
What do you think attracted people to him in the first place?
Well, there's a lot of people that think they were left behind and that the government's done them wrong, but nobody speaks for them. But and that's fine, and I know a lot of people like that, and I respect that. The problem is he's given a voice to too many of the wrong people. You know, the white nationalists and all the those folks should be in power. I mean, it's the road to nowhere. We have to learn to work together to make progress, and he's just got his own grievance agenda.
So we did that.
I love how the lady was. She's like, "Yeah, I said baby killer." Did you hear me?
No, they said baby killer her.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which that's like
laughing.
That's like a badge of honor. Matter of fact, if you walk, they excommunicate you. They exile you if you're not baby killer. They rip it like, what?
Oh,
No
really?
one called you baby killer.
Is that like your street cred? Like you got to prove it?
Yeah.
It's like a motorcycle gang.
Yes.
And they burn your cut off of you, or what do they do? They rip your tattoo. What I don't know. Sons of Anarchy.
Don't you ever let me see you wearing a three-piece baby killer rocker.
Oh no.
You're not one of us.
Oh my gosh, I love we get to do those exclusives now. We really appreciate all the support from people. And hey, by the way, look, if you have not entered for the truck giveaway yet, please go do so. There's only 9 days left to do that. You get a brand new Ford Raptor, $10,000 in cash. Dollar spend equals an entry, and you can get like some of the shirts that we've got on right now.
Yeah, you can.
Like get the new.
And it's not a Russian-made. It's not a Russian-made car.
It's not a Russian-made car or shirt.
No,
shirt's not made.
I learned I went over to Europe. They have totally different car brands. You guys can comment below or hit the like Brio. Was that one? Brio was a rental car. What is it? Brio? I never heard of it.
What is that? Cheese?
I have no. Yeah, that's what I thought.
like a Honda Brio.
Yeah, some crackers and Brio.
Well, I tell you what, it was like driving a piece of cheese because that car stunk.
Yeah.
Brio.
By the way,
I don't know what that means.
I just failed to mention, where to go to. Crowdershop.com.
Yeah, crowdershop.com.
I fail.
Now, hold on. Before we get to the infiltrating your government and, most important institutional establishments, some troubling news here at Louder with Crowder.
Yeah.
Our good friend.
Hey, Steven, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. How's prison?
Not as bad as I was expecting, I'll be honest.
Okay, so have you made any friends yet in there?
Some of the guys are pretty friendly, actually. My cellmate showed me how to make toilet wine.
Oh.
But I slipped and blacked out and hit my head on the toilet. Those slippery tiles,
Yeah. Well, are you okay?
Yeah, my head's fine. Kind of hurts to sit down, though, I'll be honest.
Did you fall on your butt?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It was all a blur.
Oh.
Does your cellmate remember what happened?
He said he didn't see nothing, but he was friendly about it, and he laid me on the bed while I was out. Made sure I was okay.
Gary, that sounds like you were raped a lot.
No, come on.
No,
No way.
No, I'm pretty sure you were sexually assaulted.
If someone raped me, I think my cellmate would have told me about it.
Yeah, I think your cellmate's lying. Yeah. He's not reliable. What's he in for?
Sexual assault?
Okay. Well, we'll send you some money for you to use at the commissary and, chin up. Tim, cut it. This is sad. All right.
He's going to need a cream or something.
I don't think so. He was smiling. He seemed happy about it.
I don't think there's a shortage. So,
kind of paste.
Yeah.
He wasn't in that much pain.
No, I don't know.
He seemed all right.
Why does that happen at a minimum security? That shouldn't happen there. That's white collar. Like you wear ankle bracelets and breathalyzers.
That's true.
Yeah, he looks all
I don't know.
gangster. He got tattoos.
I don't know how it
What's
happened.
going on with him?
It happens. He just passed out.
Yeah.
He just fell.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll check back in with him here in the coming weeks. So this is a fundamental question here: is at what point does your government cease to represent you? And I think that when people talk about the elites and they talk about the swamp and people in power, it really comes down to Americans feeling as though they are not represented by the people. Well, either A, who they've elected, or of course completely unelected officials,
Right,
people like the Faucis of the world. Appointees. It's effectively a coronation with a lot of those folks. So that seems to be. It's not about rich or poor. It's not about haves and have-nots. It's not about black or white. It is about people who are able to abuse the system and effectively never be ousted. And they are part of the system, and they've designed the system, meaning our system of government, how it exists now, in a way that is no longer representative of the American citizenry. And then that's exacerbated by the fact that they need more votes. They need to buy more votes. Right? This is really what it comes down to in politics. Maximize credit for wins and minimize liability for losses. That's what they're all seeking to do. And running for office is not the same as serving the public. These are two entirely different businesses, for lack of a better term. So what do we see here? We do see specifically Democrats, as a matter of the party platform, pushing a series of policies, measures to replace Americans with non-citizens. Not a white-black thing, just to be clear, before you say, not saying great replacement in the way that I don't care what David Duke says. We're talking about replacing Americans who are less likely to vote for them than non-citizens who are a blank slate and say, I'll vote for the people who gave me the free stuff. So, San Francisco, to be clear, just put a non-citizen Chinese national on their election commission.
I told them that if they would do this, that South Carolina would wrap their arms around them and take care of them. I now officially work for you. There is nothing that you can need that we won't make sure that we deliver.
Sorry, Wong clip. Here's the actual Wong clip.
咁就其實喺2年前我嚟到三藩市嘅時候咧，咁我就認識咗好多原來三藩市有好多嘅權利㗎喎，好多權利係好多非公民啊、移民咧都可以享有嘅，包括咧就算你唔係公民咧都可以咧去做委員去影響政策嘅。
Okay. This has nothing to do with the fact that she is Asian.
Nothing at all.
We all like Asian ladies. There are a lot of giant red communist flags, however, that are being raised. So,
and Nikki Haley?
From 2022 to 2024, this person was an immigrants' rights immigrant rights community activist. 2020 UN Refugee Agency is where she was. And then 2017 to 2018, and then in 2020 as well, the UN Migration Agency, as well as she put on her resume, lots of sex with Eric Swalwell.
She's Fang Fang?
You would no, she's just another one.
Oh.
I was wondering how she got that job.
She's one of many.
That's where 2019 went, because that's not on her resume.
So let's go through a few other leftist ploys right now, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. That is, I don't want to. It's not a conspiracy if they're saying this out in the open. They're looking. Here's what they say. They will say, well, yeah, we believe in supporting this policy. We believe in enacting this policy. And that'll give these people effectively carte blanche. It'll give them a free path to citizenship, even though it wouldn't apply in any other country throughout the history of Earth ever. That's what they say. What they really want to do is replace people who are less likely to vote for them, natural-born American citizens, that's just a fact, than immigrants who benefit from social safety nets that they have not paid into. They are looking to replace you as a voting base. If you look at it, does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you look at it through that logical lens, okay. Here's one example. Fast fact one. They're actively pushing for non-citizens to vote before we even talk about holding higher office. So there are a multitude of cities, states, actively, we're not just talking about voter ID, actively attempting to allow non-citizens to vote out in the open.
Who exactly has the right to vote here in the U.S.? That's the debate tonight in Santa Ana.
There's no debate.
City Council is debating a proposed ordinance that would significantly expand voting rights.
Yes, in fact, it would give non-citizen residents who make up nearly a quarter of the city's population the chance to vote.
Think about how this is the problem with traditional media.
Yeah.
They're saying that without horror on their face.
Yes.
Like, yes, as a matter of fact, that would allow many non-citizens like MS-13 to decide the outcome of our elected officials.
Anybody who happens to be here at the time. I mean,
back to you, person who's out there on another camera.
Illegals are breaking the law, but good news, they're making new laws.
Exactly.
Soon enough, it won't be illegal.
The greatest country on earth. So the places where this is being debated, Arizona, Vermont, you have Boston, New York City, Oakland, California, Washington, D.C.
Good for you, Oakland. I hope you get that.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're finally going to get it right.
You get what you deserve in that case.
And we can imagine what non-citizens voting would look like. This is not something sure.
That's Jackie Chan.
Sure.
That's Celine Dion.
I'm more upset.
Megatron. Zelensky. Come on.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of influence in the election there.
A little jerk.
Celine Dion. Can't wait for that new Celine Dion song.
I love how the Photoshop has a pan. What? Sorry, I stepped on it. What? Celine Dion what?
Celine Dion's new song, Your Vote Will Count On.
Yes.
Oh. Near, far, wherever you are.
I like it.
Wherever you're from, come on in.
As an aside, Celine Dion is an idiot. Now, I say this as Canadian as possible. Celine Dion, remember after Hurricane Katrina? When she went out, she goes, this is terrible. When people were, of course, there was looting, and she goes, let these people, they just want to touch these things, these expensive things. Let them touch it for once. She goes, and I would go, if I could, I would go in and I would save these people in a canoe. It's like, first off, nothing's stopping you.
That's right.
Second, this is not a canoe. This is a kayak, which means you can fit nobody to bring back.
I think that was actually Donald Trump's dance.
Yes, yeah. My heart will go on, folks. So, let's go to the real reason here. Well, I guess I should say, you see that out in the open, but this is why they were leading up to this, where they're pushing against voter ID. Democrats, we've talked about this. We did a voter ID is not racist, changed my mind. 75% of American voters support voter ID, just meaning having identification to vote. And I know you're going to say, well, that's mostly white people. No, it's 74% of whites, 69% of blacks, 82% of others or other minorities, which just seems like, hey, come on, let's separate the Asians and the Latinos at least. Let's get a good scope here.
Yeah, and even the younger, like a subset, even the younger people believe it more than the old people under 40.
Right.
Believe it at a much higher rate than people over 40. It's like everybody believes this. Even people who would be liberal.
And not that policies should be determined by popularity.
Right.
However, when you see a policy that is in complete opposition, diametric opposition to the will of all American citizens, on average, and this has been the norm for a very long time, that's when your radar should be going on.
75% is a lot.
It's a lot.
That
Some would
is
say
a
that's
lot.
significant.
You can't get 75% of people to agree on anything.
No.
No, I can't even get 75% of my household to agree on what I'm going to cook for dinner. you know?
Right. Or when to tell your
Well,
offspring
tell
about
them.
passing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Josh. Thank you for your service.
Thank
Now,
you for your service.
here's another fast fact for you.
Sorry for your loss.
Don't let this one hit you in the teeth. It's high velocity. Now, the left is allowing non-citizens to serve in civil service. So this actually is 2024, I believe.
Yeah, this year.
This is an Illinois law that allows non-citizens. And I know you're going to say, I don't really see a problem, but then I want you to think about it. See, it doesn't take that long. It allows non-citizens to become police officers.
Federal law states that only citizens can serve as officers and deputies, but a bill that has passed the House and Senate would change that for work-eligible immigrants. The bill's sponsor called it a natural progression.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a natural progression, but let's just put this in context. Someone without papers could demand that you produce your papers. Also, you are going to have a disproportionate percentage of South American illegal immigrants in the police force. Do you have any idea the tension that exists between the Latin American community and blacks in South Central LA? This is not going to end well.
No, it's not. Cop comes up to your window, show me your ID. You first!
Yeah. You think that white suburban police officers are a problem for inner city communities?
Oh, man.
Put a bunch of cholos on the job who don't even have an ID.
Can't wait for that riot. Bring back white cops. It'd be great destroying Santa Ana.
Where's Mark Furman when you need him? True.
This black guy gets pulled over, he just
Yeah.
rosary tossed through the window. Bang, 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 bang. Ask us, what would you do if you were pulled over? Comment below. Pulled over by an illegal immigrant. How would you know? Well, you'd have to take a guess.
It's non-legal.
Yeah.
Non-legal.
What did I say?
You said illegal.
Illegal immigrant.
I'm just saying this is what they say. It's non.
Oh, it's non-legal.
I'm making fun of them, not you.
Oh, okay, sorry. But I
I think
didn't
the
know.
difference between non-legal and illegal, it's like one of them's like allowed to be here, right? Like on visa or like a work release?
No,
or
it's
something
just
like
wordplay.
that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's an immigrant. That is a legal immigrant. Someone's on a visa or someone who has a green card.
That's illegal.
Yeah, they're just not a naturalized citizen.
All
They
right.
haven't actually gone through the naturalization oath. And that means that people who are police officers haven't. So here's the problem, too. We're going to get to the military and illegal immigrants serving in the military. Anyone out there who's a legal immigrant, and I've had them in my family. People have come from Canada, and a lot of friends who have gone through this, particularly a lot of Brazilian friends, because I ran in those circles for a while. They're still always very late. But
Unless it's for
pliable
Carnival.
relationships.
yeah, like Carnival. It is a sexually charged culture. Now,
Yowza.
the problem here is if you have, and comment below, if you are a legal immigrant, you know what the naturalization oath is, and that's being loyal to the Constitution, the laws of this country, right? You have to show an understanding of the founding of this country, basic civics, effectively. But allowing people who have not gone through that process, who may have no interest in going through that process, to police communities or to fight wars. And by the way, the military doesn't just fight wars, but the military has been used against citizens of this country multiple times. If you look at the Guard being deployed, that is a very dangerous precedent to set. And we'll get to the military portion in a little bit, but here's something else that is also concerning. Here's another fact for you. 3. I did 2. I meant 3. They are now the policy that is being proposed, and has already been enacted, but it is something that they're fighting for aggressively. Illegal immigrants are now being counted in the actual census.
All new at 6 o'clock, undocumented immigrants will count in the 2020 census. One of President Biden's executive orders reversed the Trump administration's effort to exclude them from the count. Channel 3 Waterbury Bureau Chief Dennis Valera shows us how this is giving hope that the Brass City will get a more accurate count.
Now, I know you might be saying, oh, these are semantics. No. The census is important. It allocates House seats, federal funding, determining which cities will be the beneficiaries of a lot of public programs. So what ends up happening is blue states are able to get more seats and funding thanks to illegal immigrants. So you have cities who enact policies, right? Sanctuary cities, and that actually affects the makeup of the state and the demographic makeup of the state, as well as what kind of funding is allocated to which municipalities. It directly affects you. The real problem here is, well, there are a lot of problems, but the message that we're sending pretty consistently to people now is, why? Why? American dream? Work? Pay your taxes? Why? Why? Oh, because someone will haul you off if you don't with guns? That's really what the IRS is. You should have just come here illegally and worked off the books, became a police officer, or served public office at that point, and you get off scot-free. What is the incentive at this point? I genuinely believe that this is punishing citizens, law-abiding citizens at this point, where the American dream is, funny enough, it's more dead for people who have been trying to live it the way that their parents or their grandparents did. Work hard, work in a company, live beneath your means. Let's go through all this. Okay, do the legal thing. No. You actually benefit more if you come here illegally.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes? No. Think about that. Save, live below your means, or don't. And the government makes it up. You look at those SNAP cards in New York, illegal immigrants getting more than the actual citizens of the city. You are incentivized to do things the wrong way. Why? It's about turning law-abiding citizens into criminals and criminals into a voting bloc. That's what is happening right now. And we're actually going to continue with this on Mug Club because I know we're going a little bit late, and I'm supposed to be keeping this under an hour. So if you're watching on Rumble, you just click that button and you get to join because we're also going to be covering Nikki Haley. What?
Nikki Haley?
Yeah, Nikki Haley live. She has a major announcement. So we're going to finish this segment, but I'm looking forward to what Nikki Haley has to say. And before we go, you saw at the beginning, you can go to prepwithcrowder.com and get $60 off a 4-week food supply kit, which you don't need to be a doomsday prepper for this. You should always have enough dried food for a couple of months, some water that you can use in case there's some kind of a natural disaster or an emergency or, I don't know, race riots. And something to heat it with, like a little Bunsen burner. There you go. Unless they've confiscated your Harvard lab. Okay. I don't think his lab was a Bunsen burner lab. I don't think his lab was a Bunsen burner.
Burning things.
It's just mixing
What is he, the
stuff.
Joker, just lighting money on fire?
Well, that was me. I did that in high school. They made us dissect a sheep's eye, and instead, I decided to burn it. Nice. So, we're going to get into illegal immigrants in the military as well, and the Nikki Haley announcement. Thank you very much, Rumble and YouTube. Piss off.
It's all so magical. I've never
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's a very interesting video because we have actually got footage of somebody using cheats and they could only get 42 kills. Bear in mind, in this video they are using speed hacks. So let's crack on with the video. So straight off the rip, we can see that he's got a lot of cheats active, right? Speed he's moving. We can see the player locations, player health bar, player outlines, right? Bear in mind, like, this guy's completely and utterly cheating. He's on 10 kills already at the moment. But he's on 10 kills with 51 up. So that's all you got to think about. 10 kills with 51 up. What would the streamer be on at this moment? Look at the speed he's moving around the map. So he's moving a lot quicker than a normal person would be able to. The kills he's getting are ridiculous because he knows where enemies are. So he doesn't even have to actually travel, like, right up on an enemy and push them because he's got everything he needs. This guy's singing Baby Shark right now, which kind of distracted me then. But he doesn't need to actually push right up on a building and actually try and kill a squad who's in there. Looks like he's in solos anyway. Might be solo tree. No, definitely solos. So he's on 11 kills with 47 up in solos. And like I said, he doesn't need to push up on everyone, like, to get close, because he can kind of see player locations. And also, he's not trying to hide the fact he's cheating. Again, we can see the player, we can see the outline, we can see the player health, player name, probably what gun they've got as well. No. But again, like, that's like one of them moments where that shows that he's rage hacking, okay, because he's just shot him through the side of the truck without any visuals at all, other than the wall hacks that we can see. Just look how empty it is in the area he's in. Now he's starting to sprint, saying he's got speed hacks here, right? Although I have seen recently as well, there's a glitch in the game that can cause you to have these speed hacks. Which, typical Call of Duty really, isn't it? Okay, look at this. He doesn't need to push right up on this guy because he can see him, he knows he's there. He has also just heard gunfire as well. So this is something that a streamer would say, well, I hear gunfire, I know the guy's over there. Look, he's not even looking directly at him. But he's using wall hacks, so we know that he can see the enemy. Right, so pushes up on this building here. Okay, so that's one of them moments where I would say a streamer would be like, well, I heard gunshots and I knew they were sort of over there. I checked the surrounding area and I pushed to the building that I couldn't see. But as he's gone in, he actually aimed at the guy through the wall only for a split second, then pushed out and killed the enemy. And a streamer would have an excuse for every part of that. Oh, that guy's just out in the open, so he saw him. That guy as well, pushing him with the storm, saw him. Yeah? But all this guy's got to do is a quick scan around, because the wall hacks will be like, look, there's someone, there's someone, there's someone. And that's all he needs to do, a quick scan. Doesn't have to thoroughly investigate an area at all. And we see this a hell of a lot from streamers. They just push in, do like a quick 360, oh, okay, no one in here. When reality is, they're not really checking, they're just seeing a player skeleton or player boxes showing up. Oh, now he hears footsteps because he got close enough, right? This guy's stimming, he can hear the stim. Do you see how a lot of these moments where we can see he's pushing directly to enemies with his cheats on, like how a streamer will be able to say, well, hang on, I heard audio cues, or there was prior knowledge and stuff like that. But we've got that understanding now because we can see from a cheater's point of view him doing the same things, moving in the same direction. Like, even that guy up there then was visible for a split second, so he just aims up there. So you can see he's now actually changing certain things. He's turned off what was that, super speed he's just turned off, or he's just turned it on. Look at the speed he's moving now, even more ridiculous. No way. Yeah.
I thought I had a f***ing nuke, but
So this is ridiculous now, isn't it? Look at the speed he's moving. But before it was like he had constant tack sprint, and now he's literally sliding around the map. Like, it's just ridiculous. So imagine being able to move this fast in a game.
5 games before.
And you only get 42 kills. While you've got wall hacks, so you know where the location of all enemies are, like that. On to the next one. Super speed all the way to the next one, right? And then what? Kill them as well, right? Because you know where they are. You've got aimbot, you've got wall hacks, you've got super speed. There's no reason for you to be doing anything else. Right? You can see the guys on the left now. He's going to push over towards them. He's probably moving faster than most vehicles or all vehicles in the game. Guy on the right here, look at this. And not to mention the fact as well, by the looks of it, this is a bot lobby, because the last couple of kills he's got, I don't think anyone's actually shot back. That guy shot back eventually, but it's kind of a bot lobby. And he's on 21 kills and 25 up, and he gets 42 kills in total. But a streamer, if you give a streamer this type of hack, how are they going to be able to, how many kills are they going to be able to get? How many kills would Aiden get with these cheats? I think he would only get around the same amount. Took a risk there because he's actually getting shot from somewhere else. But it's alright, because he knows where he is. A streamer would say, well, I knew where he was because I got an indicator from where I was shot from. It's definitely something to take into consideration if you watch a rage hacker who's literally using everything in their mind, everything in their inventory to, you know, get as many kills as possible, and they can't beat the world record. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How are these streamers breaking world records that even cheaters can't get with speed cheats, aimbot and wall hacks?
Dude, this is too high.
It's definitely disgusting behaviour, like, don't get me wrong, and I'm not like happy about this video at all, but it definitely exposes more than just this guy using cheats. It exposes the whole charade of streamers pretending to just be great at the game, dropping world records all the time.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
That shit's so funny.
See how quick he got up on him there? Looks, it sounds like he's got constant dead silence as well, by the way. But you could just have sneakers on. I don't know whether you can actually use them in Warzone. It's been that long since I played. And you know, there's another thing as well. People will say, if they're cheating, why did he die all the time about streamers, right? But I've seen people using cheats like this who end up dying, because you can actually end up in a position where you get flabbergasted, where you end up with like 3 or 4 people around you and you've got to try and deal with them all, and sometimes you can't. You know, it's like, when do streamers ever really get shot in the back? The question was like that for Z-Laner for a long time. Even Dr. Disrespect asked him why he doesn't get shot in the back. So he doesn't even need to push up on this guy. On the roof, you can see him from afar, say, oh, well, he poked his head out, I saw him, no problem. Just going to speed cheat all the way over to the next available targets. Look at this. And how quick did he get to him? There's a guy up there as well, locks onto him. Couldn't kill him, though. Plates up, just like a normal player would, right? Is he using silent aim? Like, what the hell was that?
15 player, 15 spectators. God damn.
Yeah, it definitely looks like silent aim, like.
Right now. I think it is too. Because I didn't get Shadow and Resurgence either, and I was dropping 40 bombs.
Oh, this is just right.
This is absolutely ridiculous, yeah. Like, bot lobby, people are just standing still or running in circles, running into walls, and he only gets 42 kills in this game, guys. It's ridiculous. Almost died there, though. So yet again, another camper. So if you're ever in a room in a corner wondering why someone's pushed in and accidentally found you, right, the chances are they're using wall hacks and they knew exactly where you were. Now.
Enemies detected. Locations marked.
Okay, so he's now got what? A UAV active? want to know something? Is this guy, right, I've got to pull it back a little bit. I need to know if this guy has just actually, you know that Ricochet anti-cheat perk where they like break your legs? Is that what just happened, or was it actually of height? As he just fell from height?
Enemies detected. Locations marked.
Nah, that was a legitimate fall. So it wasn't even Ricochet anti-cheat working against him there. Broken legs.
No. I had to hit myself revive.
Enemy surveillance is down. They lost visual.
Wow, that was very strange, wasn't it? Do you see the way before he jumped up? Let's pull it back. As he jumped up, he was already shooting the guy, right? I've literally got a clip of Nick Star doing exactly that. Even Tim the Tapman reacted to Nick Star doing this. Look, locks on before his gun even appears. I've got a clip of Nick Star doing exactly that. The same thing as a cheater. So we pretty much seen what we need to see here, guys, right? He's on a pretty early account, level 37. He's absolutely lasering people. The end result is he gets 42 kills whilst cheating with speed cheats, whilst cheating with aimbot and wall hacks. And he only got 42 kills. So the question is, this guy completely and utterly rage hacking using wall hacks, speed hacks and aimbot all the way throughout and could only get 42 kills. This is literally somebody who can move faster than the normal player in game, reaching new enemies a lot quicker than a streamer should be able to. And they were only able to get 42 kills. However, the world records that get set by the likes of Aiden, Mutex, Diaz Biffle and other streamers who are apparently legit are a hell of a lot higher. We're talking 60 bombs, some of them are getting 80 bombs like Nick Star in Resurgence, but this rage hacker couldn't do more than 42. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And if you did enjoy today's video, guys, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future uploads. And if you guys want to contact me about a streamer who you believe is cheating, hit me up over on Twitter at badboybeeman1. And if you guys want to stay up to date with me doing a weight loss journey, daily vlogs and things like that, go and check out the Bad Boy Boxing YouTube channel. It's linked in the description below. And one last thing before we go. As you guys are aware, I am partnered with Supreme CBD.
Attractive woman, but I mean, when you wake up the next morning next to her and all that makeup's gone, it's like, ugh.
Like, she's obviously not an ugly chick, but she's not like. And this has nothing to do with the way I feel about it because I don't like her at all. But but like there's another chick that I like I dislike more than Pokimane, but she's easily hotter, and that's the Alinity chick. No, Alinity.
Oh, okay.
Alinity is she is the definition of an e-thought. You know what I mean? And
Valkyrie's pretty hot.
Valkyrie is probably top. Yeah, 100%. Valkyrie is but yeah, like I just find Pokimane to be like, I don't know, she's so annoying, but
she is the definition of narcissist.
Yes.
She is such a narcissist, man. So full of herself.
Absolutely.
Ride a guy for a $5. Watch out, the blue hairs are out in null force. Death Racer for a 5. Jay should have brought Gina with him, and she should have talked to them and showered them with love, making them look even more ridiculous.
It would have been. That's not a good situation to put Gina in, though.
No,
so they can't do that. Can't do that.
Gina's bigger than that. Steel Leg of History for a $5. I have some new cords on the way. They will be here today, but it made me feel like crap that I made the dumb mistake and broke the cord trying to relax. Well, good luck with that. Steel Leg of History.
Oh, still good.
Got some new cords on the way.
Yeah, and he's getting his channel growing too.
Yeah,
so.
He's killing it right now. So shout
Absolutely.
out. B Buster for $2. You owe me a penny. Hail the 199. Dave Norse for a 199. Beardo's favorite video teacher passed. Rest in peace, Cagney. Is that the porn star that passed away yesterday?
Oh yeah. PJ over on Rumble says 4 protesters, 3 chaperones, and PJ says we appreciate your investment, but seriously, you can leave a little aside for a couple of new zipper hoodies for yourself. I mean, like, I typically just wear the same shit. Like, you know, I go through phases, but these, I actually want to make these available, like this brand, with like the 199 patch on it or something like 199 on the back. I got to get with Suresh to see like what the cost would be to order these hoodies from this brand, because they have no labels on them, which is perfect. And then we could put I think we've done these one time before years ago, but I love this brand. So
like track jackets, right?
No, it's just a hoodie. It's just a regular hoodie. It's just got the white zipper on it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's just a normal zip up hoodie. But yeah, so working on it. But again, for me, I wear the same shit everywhere I go. I don't give a shit. So, you know, no, not a whole lot going on here. Just the same hat, same shirt, same everything, whatever.
Same boots,
same boots. Yeah.
Koa Lee for $5. Fortnite is gay, but I support you guys, so I guess I'm gay too. We'll all be gay together. How about that? Alabamian for a $5. By the way, Jeremy, this picture is the only star from Alabama. Maybe there is
I gotta
their avatar.
highlight that one. Yeah, I gotta highlight that one. Disco Cobra for 50.
A 50.
Says I was telling Jeremy to mix it up before Helldivers 2 came out. Maybe more wrestling content or different games on the Cobra 199 channel. Helldivers has been blowing up. Top players over 400K. People trying to get on Xbox. I still need to play. Yes, and we are going to talk about Helldivers here in just a bit. And I have made a couple more wrestling videos for my D-Day Cobra 199 channel. So if you guys have not checked that out, please do that. WWE is popping right now. It is really good. So I'm definitely going to keep making wrestling content over there. It's going to take some time to get into the algorithm, but yeah, WWE stuff is really good right now. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. Tobias Nexus for 20
Let's go,
says
baby.
Even with how many furs are gay, trans, etc., I have yet to ever hear about protests or such at cons that aren't just hate. I do know that Anthrocon last year raised over $52,000 for charity. Beat that, haters! Put up your cash. Yeah, look, man, I don't inherently have a problem with like. I'm not going to hang out with a bunch of furries, okay? It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But if you do you know what I mean? Like, do your thing, hang out, have your cons, have your get-togethers. I'd rather be vaccinated than go to a furry con, okay? Like, I mean, I don't want to go to a furry con.
What I will say is when we were at MegaCon, I didn't see any furries at the panels for Ripiverse or Geeks and Gamers, so we must be doing something right.
Yeah.
We gotta be doing something right. There was no furries that were waiting to meet us, so that's a good thing. Taker for $2. Rachel Zegler won Action Movie Star of the Year. Weird.
Well, didn't they have like the streamer awards the other day, and it was basically like they just gave each other. Like,
They were just jerking off each other's friends. That's all it was. It was like, and that's all it has been, dude. It's always, the streamer awards are always just like the top 10 streamers who are all friends together, that they all hang out and they stream, and they just give each other different awards. It's just a circle jerk of friends who are streamers. That's all it is, man. It's become a joke.
Yeah, and then of course, so yeah, when are the Oscars? Like, when is that? Like,
You're asking the wrong person.
Isn't the Oscars like in March or something like that usually? And the reason I'm asking is because I do think it will be interesting this year. It does look like Oppenheimer is going to dominate. Now, I've said for many years, like, I don't really give a shit about the Oscars. What I'm interested in is if Oppenheimer dominates, are they going to freak out because it's not this diversity bullshit movie, you know, like, because, I mean, Christopher Nolan's probably going to dominate. Like, he's going to probably dominate across the board. And there's not going to be any diverse awards given out if Oppenheimer wrecks them. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be the funniest thing. Because for the longest time, I was like, man, I want Nolan to get an Oscar. I don't give a shit if he gets an Oscar. It really doesn't matter. He should have already won an Oscar for almost every movie he's made, except for maybe a few, except for Dark Knight Rises. Okay, I'll give you that one. But I just want to see the reaction if it wins, if the weirdos are gonna cry about lack of diversity and all this shit. So,
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets nominated for several, but they snub him just because they can.
That will be so crazy if they do it. That will be so crazy.
But I mean, would you be surprised?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Be surprised if they
not at
snub
all. Not at all. So
Golden Nuggets for a 5. You take 5 lame protesters times 1 J equals 1 Gina minus Josh Brolin's love poem equals that's 12. 199s. Okay.
The
Thank you,
numbers
Golden
don't
Nuggets.
lie. The
No, they
numbers don't lie.
Holy smokes. Rhombosaurus. Rhombosaurus for a 199. Holy shit. Any predictions for the Nintendo Direct tomorrow? So there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, and
It's a
then a
partner
week,
showcase.
and then partner showcase, and then a week from tomorrow or a week from today is the Pokemon Direct. So
Yeah, partner showcase. I don't expect it to be anything mind blowing. I think they're probably going to announce something with Xbox games, coming over there. They obviously had this scheduled. It seems like they had this scheduled for last week, and then Microsoft had their whole podcast they were releasing on Thursday, so it looks like Nintendo pushed it. I don't expect anything big to come from the partner showcase.
No Switch
it's
2?
No. It's not getting announced anytime soon. I've already predicted that the Switch 2 will not release until, in my opinion, until holiday 2025 is when they will release it, and they probably won't even announce it until a few months prior. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. Dude, the Nintendo Switch is still the Nintendo Switch is less than, I think it's right at 20 million units away from becoming the best-selling console of all time. And I think there was a report the other day that I guess Nintendo has $11 billion in cash.
Well, and dude,
that
it's so
is
affordable
crazy.
too, man. It's so affordable, easy to get a hold of. The games are, they have their own catalog. They'd be dumb to do a Switch 2 soon.
Yeah.
But it's also Nintendo, man. It's and it plays into what we're saying. They are so out of the loop on a few things. They're a few years back, and they don't give a fuck about it.
No.
They don't care. They don't care what Sony's doing. They don't care what Microsoft is doing. They're just marching to their own beat. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't. They don't care. That's the positive and the negative you get from them. Because you could sit there and you could say oh, Nintendo's out of touch, but this is why they don't get caught up in the social bullshit and all of that. But look at this right here. Nintendo is the richest company with over 11 billion in cash. That is, I can't even comprehend that. I can't even comprehend that. That is insane.
Yeah.
They are crushing it. So, man, Nintendo's operating on a whole different playing field. They are not competing with Microsoft. They are not competing with Sony. They're not competing with anyone but themselves. That's it. And they're going to continue to do their thing. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a double-edged sword with Nintendo, but overall, I think it's a far more positive thing than anything for them to operate how they operate.
And their first-party games, they don't require this massive amount of development. The mocap, there's no face capture. They don't use actual actors or face models to do their games. It's just the development and the programming for them has got to be light years cheaper than what you see these AAA studios making for PC and PlayStation and Microsoft. So they're able to profit a whole bunch more.
Well, and that, right now, what they should be doing, in my opinion, here's what they should do now. The Nintendo Switch should be their Sony PlayStation. Everything that releases should be the Switch 2, the Switch 3, the Switch 4, the Switch 5.
I agree.
That should be Nintendo's flagship moving forward as the Switch. Don't call it the Switch U, please, for the love of God. Don't call it the Switch U. But it needs to be simplistic. Switch 1, Switch 2, Switch 3, Switch 4, and that will be the identity for Nintendo moving forward. And they can continue to make that this kind of hybrid, kind of like home console, also like handheld.
I think they hit the jackpot on that. Like we were saying this on the main event, I think last week. Nintendo hit the jackpot on the Switch because they've always been the at-home console and then the mobile device with the Game Boy, the DS, and then they had, the 64, the GameCube, the Wii. But now they have both in one. It's so fucking genius. They've hit the jackpot. They cannot move away from this model because it's perfect. It's been perfect for them. The Switch has been super successful. And, and they still do have the mobile-only version of the Switch with the Switch Lite. But it's still the Switch.
Yep.
So, you do the Switch 2, and then you have the Switch 2 Lite, which is the mobile version that still plays all the Switch games that you can still play on the at-home console. It's genius. They've hit the jackpot on it, and you're right. Just go Switch 2, Switch 3, Switch 4, and just keep it simple.
But the thing is, I saw somebody in the chat say that Nintendo won't do the number things, and I agree that that's probably that.
They never.
That's
have.
not. They never
Besides
have.
the DS, they did the DS, the 2DS, and the 3DS.
Well, no. There was no. Well,
Yeah.
that was
There's the
based.
2DS.
But that was based on like 2-dimension, 3-dimension, like the
Right,
three.
right.
So it wasn't like and so I don't know. I mean, again,
It's still a play on it. Like
it
like
is,
they did,
it
but
is.
they did the 3DS, and then they scaled the 3DS back, and they made the 2DS after. But there's still, it's still you got the DS, the 2DS, and 3DS.
Yeah.
Look at
and
it that
so,
way. But like
yeah.
they did the Game Boy Color, and then the Game Boy Advanced.
Yeah,
and then
that's
the
right
DS.
though. Yeah, but the 2DS
don't
did
do-
come out. The 2DS did come out after the 3DS.
Yep,
So
yep.
no, the 2DS came out after the 3DS though.
Correct.
But I'm saying though, so it wasn't so much a play on the follow up. It was more play on the 2D aspect, the 3D aspect.
It was both.
So
they did it. They were clever. They were very clever with the naming.
I think
of
you're
it.
giving them too much credit. I think
Dude,
you're giving them-
these are Asians, bro. They're Japanese. They're smart as fuck. They're fucking smart. Especially when it comes to numbers, they're fucking smart.
Nintendo fanboy confirmed. You're like, they're working 4D chess, man. They know what's going on.
Hey, they purposely put the Wii U out to suck for the Switch to succeed as much as it has.
I don't think they brought it out from.
Yeah. Confirmed. Look at Project Eggroll. Says yes, they are Asian. Hey, dude, they're fucking Asians, man. They're smart as shit. They know what they're doing.
I mean, they did. They brought the Wii U out. They clearly aren't that smart. Okay.
But they did it so that the Switch would succeed.
The Wii U is the worst branding I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it was horrible. It really was terrible. But either way, we'll see. All right, let's get a few more super chats, and we're going to talk about
Okay.
Helldivers 2.
Sophie for 5. Wait, Hayden was on CobraCast. Does he even sleep? Every other super chat on the 9-hour stream was from him. LM should have Legal Mindset should have him on as a guest. Still got a 6-hour to watch.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was just in the chat. That's what I was saying. Like, we were talking.
Okay.
He was in the chat. So
Cole Hauser for $2. What's up, Jeremy and Beardo? 199. Yo, Joe, praise Ora.
Praise Ara.
Sophie for another 2. Renner appeared. Only Tom stood up. Disgrace. I don't know what she's talking about.
Jeremy Renner?
I'm assuming
Oh.
Jeremy Renner and Tom Hardy, Tom Hiddleston. I don't know. Tobias Nexus for $5. Oh, you may have had a few. Not all of us are vocal about it. Closet furries are a thing. I've never been to a con or meetup. I'm an anxious wreck in real life right now. I mean, maybe there was
Tobias?
Yeah, Tobias Nexus. Yeah.
Yeah. I personally will stay far away from a furry con, but I have nothing against it.
The one cool thing that I saw at MegaCon was like the 100 Spider-Men that were all hanging out together, and they had the boombox.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, there was like It had to have been like 100 different Spider-Men, and one of them had a boombox, and they were all dancing together, walking around the convention.
Really? I did not see that. Wow.
Yeah, it was like a Spider-Verse thing. It was pretty
Dang,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah. You want me
I
to keep
saw
reading, or
this-
you want to?
Well, I saw this tweet and I just wanted to see what the chat says. Okay, this is interesting, and I want to see what you say. All right. One has to go.
Ooh.
Now, at first, I thought this was a pretty easy answer for me, and honestly, so I'm just gonna say right now, 2 and 4 are going nowhere. Okay,
Right.
2 and 4 stay. So the question becomes between 1 and 3. Now, initially, I was going to say ET, but I think I feel like Top Gun Maverick has made me really love the original Top Gun more and make me look at it in a whole different way. I've always liked the first Top Gun, you know what I mean? But
Gun to your head, it has to be E.T. If one has to go, gun to your head and say, one has to go. It's E.T.
I have a lot of nostalgia for E.T. You know what I mean? I don't have as much nostalgia for Top Gun. I liked Top Gun, but E.T. I have a ton of nostalgia. I think probably E.T. doesn't hold up that well on rewatches. It's been so long since I watched it, but I don't know, man. It's either 1 or 3 though. There's no way that there's no way to. So what are you? You're taking E.T.
I'm getting rid of E.T.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And the
God, man.
best out of this list is Back to the Future.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But I love me some Ghostbusters, man.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to
E.T.
bring
takes
up.
a hike.
I think because of Top Gun Maverick, I think I'm gonna have to keep Top Gun. If Top Gun Maverick wasn't a thing, I'd probably keep ET. But because of Top Gun Maverick,
Fair enough.
I think that's why I have to keep Top Gun.
Yeah.
So, I think, yes, I'm going to keep Top Gun, but it's not an easy decision for me. Not an easy decision for me. I see most of the chat saying E.T. gone, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
They're like,
I agree.
done,
I agree with
done.
that.
So, I think we'll have to do some of those on the Geeks and Gamers account. Like the one has to go, put some games, put some,
On the
4 movies,
website.
4 games. So on the website. So let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 has popped off. Now, you've played Helldivers 2.
Yep.
Can you give us a brief kind of what your thoughts are on Helldivers 2? What does it compare to? Is it basically give you like Left 4 Dead vibes from that perspective?
No.
4-player. No. What I mean, like just from the co-op aspect of like playing with friends and things like that. Does it have that feel to it? Not the zombie element. You know what I mean? Or is it more like a Gears of War? I don't know if you played Gears.
Man, I'd say multiplayer. It's probably like Destiny. It's
Okay.
like Starship Troopers meets Halo ODST, and a little bit of Destiny.
Okay.
Is what it kind of is. But I don't. It's such a unique game. It's so unique. Calling in like your reinforcements and having to take out these hives, and I personally I like battling the bugs better than the robots. The robots are a lot harder. Like the difficulty level from the bugs to the robots is stiff, but it's such a fun game to play
when
co-op.
I played the tutorial, obviously they make you fight some of the bugs in the tutorial, and then when I got into the game, I was just playing by myself, and so it's just like the robots seemed like overbearing. Like the robots were
Yes.
pretty difficult,
Yes.
and I kept running out of ammo, so now I was having to go find ammo. And I was learning that dynamic of it, but I haven't played it that much. But I have not played like with friends yet, and that's what I'm looking forward to is that dynamic.
So the easiest way for ammo, I mean, there are some outposts on the planets where you can find ammo drops, but the easiest way is to just call in your reinforcements, which is very unique. Like, there's button combinations. So if you're playing on controller, like, you have to do a certain combination on your D-pad, and you do like up, down, sideways, right, whatever on your
Yep.
D-pad, and then you throw the beacon, and then you get a drop, and you can either call in like a rocket launcher, a sniper, a machine gun, or it's a resupply. And if your friend dies, that's how you do it too. That's how you call them back. So you don't play as just this one character. Like, you're pretty much just like this private in the army, or you're just some random person in the military, and every time you die, you just spawn in as a new armyman, but in the same armor that you were already wearing. So the likeness is the same, but it's a brand new person every time. So there's not this one single character. It's like not like you're playing Master Chief, or you're not playing as just the same character.
Right.
So there's no importance to the character that you're playing other than the setup that you have for it.
Well, and so you've got right here, you got Helldivers 2 sees over 400,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. So it's now matching Pal World for online popularity. This is, man, that looks good actually right there, KFC. So this is huge now. A lot of people did not see this coming, just like Pal World, and this is where the gaming world, there's so much opportunity out there. We've seen so many of these properties just disappoint time and time again, these AAA properties. And then you have these games come out of nowhere like Pal World and now like Helldivers that have really dominated. Now, hopefully with Pal World, I think they've done a good job from what I've heard keeping up with it. Helldivers is going to be a whole different ball game in terms of trying to keep up with all of this, because the numbers are like right here. Helldivers 2 dev temporarily caps concurrent players to around 450,000 to help with the server stability. So that is crazy that they're running into this type of issue. But I think, again, this is a great problem to have, and hopefully they're going to be able to take full advantage of this and keep up with it, because I want to see them maintain it. Because from everything I've seen, Helldivers 2, no BS about it. It's just a fun game that is kind of brings you back to the 90s kind of, action, patriotic, stuff like that. Like it's
very
just,
patriotic.
Like it's got a great vibe to it, and it's what we need more of. So you're going to see us playing Helldivers. So it's 4-player co-op, correct? Is that what it is?
Yes, 4 players max. And the cool thing about the story is that you're currently at war with the bugs and the robots. And based on the entire player base, how successful the people are in the game, not just you, but how everyone in the world is doing in the missions, reflects how you are doing in the war. So right now, online, if you're to log in right now, you're currently losing the war against the robots. Like, you are losing. They are taking over factions, and that is because the player base, the overall player base in the server, is losing to the robots, and that is reflected in the game. I've never seen something like that before. That is very unique, like how that works. It is an active war that is going on, and the entire player base in the entire world, whoever's playing, their success or failure is reflected in the game, in the war in the game, and everyone who plays their game is like reflects that. That is insane. That's the best way that I can describe it.
That's awesome.
That's so unique to me.
Hell yeah. I love it. And again, so I'm hoping that, this game continues to succeed, because we don't want to see, like, Halo Infinite, for instance. Remember when Halo Infinite, came out and it set records for launch numbers for Halo, and then they fucked it up not too long after. You remember that? Yeah. They just fucked it up. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that's not the case with this game. I hope they continue to maintain what they have right now, because this is massive momentum. And then Pal World is another one with right there. It just says Helldivers 2 just passed the all-time Steam concurrent record of Grand Theft Auto 5. So I didn't even see that as the headline right there. So this is fantastic news. Helldivers is a massive, massive success so far. Hopefully they're going to be able to maintain the success. We will be playing this game on our respective channels. For me, like, my personal gaming channel is DJ Cobra 199, and then obviously we have the Geeks Gamers Play channel. So stay tuned for that. But I'm looking forward to it.
And it's the fact that it's a double A game. It's not a full price game. It's $40 American on Steam, and the fact that I think that between Pal World and Helldivers 2, Xbox and Sony are learning a lot about this. That even though that they have their signature exclusive games, putting them on PC day one and not making it just a console exclusive, but making it also available on PC is a huge win. I don't think Helldivers or Palworld would be as successful as it is right now if Xbox were to say, oh, you can only play Palworld on Xbox or Game Pass and it's not available on Steam. Same with Helldivers. If you could only play Helldivers on PlayStation, it wouldn't be as big. But the fact that it's on PlayStation and on Steam, that's why these games are taking off. And I think you can see in the future that Sony should, I don't know if they will, I don't know if they're smart enough, but if they like money, they should do it. That you might see, let's say, the next God of War game. Yeah, you can play it on PlayStation, but day one, you can get God of War on Steam as well. Or with same thing with Xbox, whatever Xbox exclusives are coming out, put it on Steam as well, because there's way too much money to be made. PC gaming, since COVID, PC gaming has skyrocketed. More people are playing and gaming on PC than ever before.
Well, and I'm 100% open to, like, I have no problem. Like, this is my argument's always, I want Nintendo to remain on Nintendo systems. I don't want Nintendo to be available anywhere else. But, like, when it comes to, like, PlayStation and Xbox, like, make them available. If you have third-party games, make them available everywhere. I don't like when if Sony actually does have something that they are responsible for, like a God of War, I can understand why you want to keep it on your own system. But I don't like when third-party games that are made outside of the console manufacturers are just like they make deals and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're right. If you start making things available for whether it's God of War or Uncharted or something like that, or even Spider-Man,
Final Fantasy.
So yeah, make
Imagine
that
if
available.
Final Fantasy 16 was on PC day one.
Well, at the end of the
Might
day,
have been Game of the Year.
They don't do a good job. Even with their console exclusives, they haven't done a good job of maintaining that. Like, look what Halo's become when it was a console exclusive. You know what I mean? Look what happened to Halo after its peak with Halo 3. It just fell apart.
Well, that's because the developer changed. It went from Bungie to 343.
I know. And like God of War is a massive franchise. I don't think it's like this thing that you're just automatically like gonna identify with PlayStation per se. Like, I don't think people. I don't think because you're in the know. I'm just talking about from the normie standpoint. I don't think normies just automatically think God of War PlayStation. I don't think they do. I think normies think Halo Xbox. I don't think normies just go God of War PlayStation. I think they think God of War awesome video game. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
God of War has always been PlayStation only.
I know it has, but for some reason it just doesn't seem like it's something that is synonymous with PlayStation. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm talking about normies, not gamers.
Let us know.
Yeah, I'm talking about normies, not gamers.
Right.
So, because any normie would think, Xbox, Halo, but they wouldn't think.
And Spider-Man, Sony, I get it. I think that if we're gonna see any games that Sony's like it's their exclusive, we'll see the Horizon series, God of War, Final Fantasy. You can see those day one on PC in the future. But something like Spider-Man, like Sony owns everything that is Spider-Man. And the only reason Disney has Spider-Man right now on film is because they lease it to them. But Spider-Man is Sony's baby. So I can see that one and that one only being like, hey, you're going to need a PlayStation to play a Spider-Man game. But for God of War, Horizon, Uncharted's kind of done. That series is finished. But Final Fantasy, man, they're just losing money not putting it on PC day one. I mean, and that's because you just look at the success of Helldivers. That is a AA game. Palworld, that's a AA game. And they decided to put it on PC day one, and these games are just skyrocketing.
Crushing it right now.
Yep.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it.
Yep.
And also we are going to have main event tonight, Tuesday night's main event, so we'll carry over a lot of this gaming discussion over there tonight. And I think we're confirmed for a guest, but I need to wait to see. I think we were working on having a guest tonight, someone that's never been on the G&G channel. So someone that got caught up in some controversy about 2 months ago. She had a viral video for like she was calling out the social justice people. So we'll see. I think we've got her for tonight. We've been working on getting it's the Mally Mouse girl. You know, that girl that went viral, and I think like Babylon B wrote some articles on her and stuff like that. I think she's been working with them. So
Okay.
I think she's supposed to be on tonight.
Steph said we are confirmed.
Okay, confirmed. There we go. So yeah, so she's gonna be on, and we'll talk about her viral moment where they were going after her because she basically was calling out all the BS. So all right, let's read some super chats.
All right, let's get it. Bass Bunny Love, or maybe it's Base Bunny Love, for a $5. The Dark Knight is one of the best movies ever made. Probably my second favorite movie of all time, and the best opening scene in a movie ever.
It's
the best
goated.
opening scene in a movie ever.
It's right up there. It's up
Yeah.
there. That opening scene with Joker and everything.
Yep, the bank heist. Rye the Guy for a $5. I think that little protest proves at least one thing. Those people are certainly a lot braver behind a TikTok video or a keyboard. Absolutely. George Ramirez for a $5. Geeks and Gamers 199 Helldivers 2 Squad. Let's go! Hope they fix the servers. Fucking love you guys. Greetings and love from Puerto Rico. Waiting on Beardo to yell a 50! Well, we did get a 50 earlier today, so there you go. Irish Rhino for a $2. Gina in Red Alert 3. Enough said. Hotter than Pokemon? Maybe Pokimane? Cole Hauser for a $2. Jeremy, WWE including Attitude Era or G.I. Joe Ara? Question mark.
Hang on just a minute. I hate TikTok because I'm trying to pull up her video and I don't sign into TikTok, and it's wanting me to do all these verify or whatever, and it's playing something in my ear right now. Fuck you, TikTok. Anyway, go ahead.
Cole Hauser had a question for you. Jeremy, WWE including Attitude Era or G.I. Joe? Question mark.
WWE include... Wait, what's he asking?
WWE including Attitude Era or G.I. Joe? Question mark.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. He's asking me if I would take WWE with Attitude Era or G.I. Joe. I'd still take G.I. Joe.
Okay. Derek P.G. Beller for a $5. Blizzard's Diablo 3 and 4 have been outclassed by the independent game path of Exile for years, and they're about to take another hit with Last Epoch? Thank you.
All right, sorry. Now, this is the video that this is the girl Mally that we're gonna have on tonight. It took forever to pull this fucking video up because TikTok's so fucking retarded. But this is got her in trouble with the
yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that you said this. Okay. First of all, you just assumed my gender. Second of all, I don't give a fuck. I know that probably bothers you, but the difference between us is that I don't base my emotional stability on the validation of strangers. I know, rough concept, huh? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with me accurately defining a group of people as rainbow bullies when they are literally notorious for throwing temper tantrums and lashing out at people who think even minutely different from them. And by the way, I have personally been called things so much worse than a rainbow bully. So if that is going to be the end-all be-all for your whittle feelings, then I think you need to go take a trip over to Super Weenie Hut Jr.
And they lost their mind because she's I guess she's a Disney. She was, she does like theme parks and stuff like that. So her response to this, they lost it because she called out the rainbow bullies. And that, she's pretty based though. She's always put like pro-Trump stuff out there and everything. So she's pretty based. So we will have her on tonight.
Nice.
So
Vicente Cruz for a 20. What is it with Warner Brothers for not wanting to put out a Superman game and people say you can't play Superman? He's completely overpowered, but Dragon Ball Z and One Punch Man have overpowered characters and they get to have games. Well, so here's the thing. So Rocksteady, the old heads at Rocksteady have made their own studio. They've been working directly with James Gunn in the new DC. I think it's Jamie Walker and Sefton Hill have started their own brand new studio under DC, and James Gunn has already stated that he wants to make movie tie-in video games again and do them right, which I'm not sure if I'm personally a fan of. But what do we know about the new DCU? The first movie they're putting out is Superman Legacy. What is this brand new studio that Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker have just made under James Gunn? This new Rocksteady, you know, the old heads of Rocksteady. It's like a small team. It's a small team in this studio. They're probably going to be making a Superman Legacy game that's going to come out shortly after the movie Superman Legacy comes out as well. So I think a Superman video game is not too far away in the distant future. Dermy Wormy for a 10. I'm only 200 away from 2,000. Been rocking hard lately. Always thankful to Jeremy for telling me to just do it. 199. Can't wait for Vegas.
Hell yeah, man. That's
Shout
all
out
you
to
got to
Dermy.
do. You can't wait. You just gotta make it happen. So I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome.
Alec Baldwin's finger for a $20. Funny you say that, Beardo. Spielberg had the guns changed to radios in the E.T. remaster.
Yeah. Spielberg, man, Spielberg doesn't get criticized as much as he should for being a freaking weirdo. By the way, I'm just gonna have to say it, okay? I tweeted this, and it's finally time to admit something to the internet, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally time to admit something. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Based on Mark Hamill's Twitter, I can now say confidently, I'm starting to appreciate Ryan Johnson.
I saw that.
I'm starting to appreciate Ryan Johnson. I despise Mark Hamill. So here's Mark Hamill's tweet wishing Joe Biden, just ranked by historians as the 14th greatest president of all time, a happy President's Day. And I'm like, I'm starting to appreciate Ryan Johnson. You know, like, honestly, yeah, I'm pretty happy that he made Mark Hamill miserable. I can't do. Mark Hamill is a psychopath. Okay, Mark Hamill is a complete psychopath. Gary's tweets every time Mark Hamill tweets, Gary's responses are so good. But yeah, man, I can't. Mark Hamill's lost. It's over. He might be the single worst case of TDS I've ever seen.
He's up there.
Bad. It's bad.
It's either him or Stephen King.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Vice for a $10. Here's a tip for those who want to spread democracy throughout the galaxy. Log in late at night when most people have left the servers. Leave your PC on sleep mode. Then you're good to go the next day. Well, thank you for the tip. Lower lip slicker for a 10. I was new in the Navy in San Diego in '84 when TG was made. Met TC at that time. Never seen ET, so it's gonna go.
Gotta go.
Blue-eyed Scorpio for a 10. Jeremy, I tagged you with something on Twitter that might be good for CobraCast if you haven't already shared it.
All right, noted.
Some member messages. Tony for 5 months. Good to see some real talent on daily. You're welcome. Eldritch for 10 months. Drunk 3PO. Okay, so this is a funny story. So last night, 2 nights ago when I was playing Helldivers, I was stuck in a waiting queue for Helldivers. Somebody super chatted me. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin, not Stone Cold's beer cooler. It was actually Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I've been waiting for maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes. And he said, have you ever tried shouting Drunk 3PO 3 times at your computer to get in? So I did. I yelled Drunk 3PO 3 times. And Jeremy, I shit you not, on that end of that third Drunk 3PO, I fucking got in. I'm not kidding. Like on the dot when I said the third Drunk 3PO, I got in. It was the most insane thing that I've ever experienced.
That is awesome.
Aaron Fever for 8 months. Please tell Gina to come to Phoenix. We'll have to ask Jay. He's her manager after all. The Exalted Patriarch gifted a membership. Thank you. Vash Fire became a member. Butter Biscuit for 10 months. Speaking of Jonas J. Campbell, you guys need to play Fortnite with him and Floral under a rock.
Let's go. They play Fortnite?
Maybe.
I'm all about playing Fortnite. I don't know if anybody knows that.
Steel Leg of History for 23 months. I can't thank you all enough for your support. I haven't been able to stream for a few days. I broke my HDMI cord. It stresses me out, but everyone been great. Oh, so that's the cord. That's the cord he was talking about. His HDMI cord.
Okay.
Sierra Tan for 10 months. Hey, guys, thanks for the great content. Hail, Geeks and Gamers. Thank you, Sierra. Joseph A. for 8 months. Welcome back to Daily Beardo. Bro, Vince Russo probably. Hey, thanks, bro.
Bro.
Michaela for 5 months. I'm bummed that I won't be able to make Vegas. I would love a chance to meet everyone and hopefully Gina in a less chaotic setting than MegaCon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So for those just tuning in, Gina Carano called earlier, and we talked to her. We put her on speaker, her and Jay, and she is, talked about, her experience at the Fan Expo this past weekend, and then she said she might be at Vegas for the Vegas meetup. So that's pretty cool.
Shout out.
Yeah.
SBZ for $5. In other news, Suicide Squad is also struggling with player logins. The server can't even handle 10 concurrent players. Man, that game fucking fell off, man. That game fell off harder than Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, the bad take Beardo returns.
The Gilk Man for $5. I used to love Beardo, and then I saw that New York Giants garbage flag. Much love to all, except for Beardo. Come on, Thomas. What did I do? What did I do? I'm sorry that you're a Redskins fan, Thomas.
And we have 500 people watching on Rumble, by the way. Shout out to you guys. So crazy numbers for us today. Thank you.
Infinite Horizon for a $1.99. Let me know about the 3D printed masks.
Will do.
52 Games Podcast for a $1.99. They have no ideas, so they're going to video games. They have no ideas, so they're going to video games. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Maybe the DC stuff? Superman? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. PJH for a $5. Beardo's deep voice makes his singing more acceptable. Hey, thank you. B Barrett for $2. This is a J Boarhood. Are you all welcome? You are all welcome. This is a J Boarhood, and you are all welcome.
How was the audio when Gina called earlier? Was the audio pretty good?
I thought it was good.
Okay. And then the audience, could you guys hear it pretty good? Was that okay? Hopefully it turned out okay.
Wesley for $5. Jay should have rolled up to the protest with Gina and a sign that says, "We are here for the struggle session." General Duality for a $5. The weekend of March 2nd, Sean Strickland will be racing in Nitro Cross. Luckily, you can watch Nitro Cross on YouTube and Rumble. It was created by Pastrana, who uses the 199. Hail!
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, his number was 199.
General Duality for a $2. They should call the next Switch the Super Switch. You never know.
It's Nintendo, man. So they might.
Know. PJH for another $5. Switch U marketed to the trans community. You switch, I switch. Gerald Armstrong for a $5. Jeremy, did you see the incarnate Word Texas A&M commerce fight last night?
No.
Incarnate Word? I don't know how to. I think it's incarnate. Whatever.
I did not see that.
He did not see it, Gerald. And we're all caught up.
We're all caught up. All right. So another Geeks and Gamers Daily in the books. Fear the Beardo. Good to have you back. Where can they find you?
Fear the Beardo on all social media. Twitter, YouTube, Kick, and Instagram. All socials are public. Go ahead and follow me. And on Sports Wars. I'm putting out almost daily content for Sports Wars, so go ahead and check us out.
All right, there we go. Tobias for 10 says, Jeremy, I respect you for that. We may disagree on stuff, but I'm proud that you're at least honest with your feelings about furries. You keep being your awesome self. I'll keep being the Geeks and Gamers